Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV in the house like kitchen sinks. And before I get into this morning's story, if you will, y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me know your city, your state, your hood, your set, whatever it may be that you're representing. And let us know if you're the man or the woman that you say you be. Oftentimes, people really, really wonder what goes on in prison, in jail. They're really, really inquisitive, if you will. I'm going to give you all a brief example of the sort of scenarios and finaglery that goes on in jail while one is incarcerated. We're in a county jail. It's one of those things to where, because everything is a process, it's very, very easy to get to jail. You get to jail quickly, but the process is a process, if that makes any sense to you. Got I want to say 10 to 12 man pod. All a pod means is a cell, a unit. So you got the 10 to 12 people in this particular pod. You got an OG. OG Bobby Jimmy. He just got a 10-year sentence. He's been in the pod for probably over a year fighting this case. He ends up getting a 10-year sentence. PFO 1. Now, PFO 1 means in Kentucky, persistent felony offender. It means it's at bare minimum your third felony. And so he got 10 years, but he's going to have to serve 85% of that 10 years, which means he's going to do 8.5. Already been in the county jail over a year, probably like a year and a half, meaning that time will go towards his sentence. He has another 7 years to do. Been in the same cell. He's what you call the Podfather. Podfather, he kind of runs the cell to a certain extent, depending on where you're at and what cell you're in. All type of youngsters, he done seen them come and go. Not too much that he hasn't seen. Again, this is his third or fourth time, so he's been to the penitentiary. He's been in a county jail several different times, if you will. So nothing really surprises him. You got a youngster that comes through, JT. I start calling him JT the bigger figure. Shout out to the Bay, man. You know, JT the bigger figure. I start calling him, he went by JT, but I, again, start calling him JT the bigger figure. So we all in the cell. Like I said, it's 12 of us. Now that I really, really think back, it's 12 of us in the pod. The pod was a cool, laid back, like it was really no drama. Every once in a while you may see, but everybody that was in the pod, it was like we was facing major time. Some people had already gotten their time and they're waiting on the Grey Goose to come to take them to the Rotary Farm. You go to the Rotary Farm, stay there for 2, 3, 4 months, however long you got to stay there. That's where you go get processed, booked, and mental, physical evaluations, whatever. They classify you, decide where you're going to go to prison at, and then you're on your merry way. But then you had some that was in there that were fighting cases. They didn't know exactly what the outcome of their case was going to be. I was one of those individuals. I was still fighting my case. Like I said, the pod was cool, laid back. It really wasn't too much problems, man. You got JT the youngster, JT the bigger figure. He came through. He would rap all the time. He could rap. Freestyle right off the top. And so I deemed him the name of JT the bigger figure. Once again, shout out to the Bay area. Well, there's a system that kind of, like when you're in jail, right? In the county jail anyway. It's not going to fly in a penitentiary, but penitentiary is totally different. But in the county, whoever's been in there the longest and they got some heart and they got a little bit of, you know what I mean? Like people know who they are, a little bit of stature about themselves or whatever. They're the Podfather. Bobby Jimmy, OG Bobby Jimmy, every day he would get up every morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. They would push the yellow mop bucket with the wheels on it. They would push the yellow mop bucket into the cell every morning, 4 o'clock. Got the mop, toilet paper, because you have to share toilet paper in the cell. So many rows, I want to say 3 rows, 4 rows of toilet paper. You got your paper towels. You got your spray the tables down, clean the showers, clean the toilet, clean the sinks or whatever. All your cleaning supplies were on this yellow mop bucket. Every single morning like clockwork. This is jail shit, y'all. Y'all want to know about jail? So you got these people that make these prison stories and they never been to jail day and day. They're culture vultures. We talk about Vlad TV being a culture vulture. No, you got these individuals that's never done a day in jail. So they get people to make these interviews and give them $100, $50, $200, but they make thousands and thousands off of YouTube, off of their stories, and they've never been to jail. I'm giving you all the real reality of what this is really about. And my views are nowhere near theirs. Don't understand that, but guess what? We're not going to complain and cry about it. We just going to keep grinding. Y'all rock with me, man. OG Bobby Jimmy would do this like every day. But there's benefits that come along with doing these things. First of all, you control the TV pretty much whenever you want, because you're cleaning the cell. Then, I don't know, I'm quite sure that other places don't call it this, but in Fayette County Detention Center, what they call it is tray stacker. Tray stacker. When you the tray stacker means that whenever the trays come through, if you've cleaned the cell, you get the extra tray. So not only do you primarily control the remote control as far as what's watched on the television, you get that extra tray. In jail, some days chicken, some days feather. Most of the time it's feathers. Every once in a while you get a good tray. You might get your pizza, the school pizza that you used to get, the rectangular school pizzas with the corn and the motherfucking salad, and yeah, you might get that once a month, once every 2 months. You got chicken day, chicken patty day, hamburger, hot dogs, spaghetti. So there's certain days to where it's beneficial. In Fayette County Detention Center, which is in Lexington, Kentucky, they want to create any way to get money out of all the inmates that they possibly can get. So on Mondays, they call it Meal of the Week. Meal of the Week, it might be Little Caesar's Pizza. It's back when they had the hot and readies for $5. They still got them now, but they're not $5. I think they're like $8 here. Well, in the county jail, they charging us $16, $17 for a hot and ready that they're probably paying $3 for because they're ordering so many of them. Imagine that. The next week it might be, I don't know, Lee's chicken, famous recipe. Might be Columbia Steakhouse. They would just rotate it. That was every Monday. On Tuesdays, they would have what's called Code Cart. Code Cart is literally a cart that would come through. You had to put your order in like 2-3 days, prior to that day. You got your chips. You got your soft drinks. You might have Blimpies. You might have Subway. Get your sub sandwiches or whatever. You got your sweets, your banana muffins. All of these things you can buy if you have money. Sick for the people that don't have no money, but for the people that do have money, they're eating swell. Just letting you all know what goes on in the county jail, at least in the county jail here in Lexington, Fayette County. On Wednesday, you have commissary, which is regular commissary day. So whatever you ordered on commissary, you can order, I think, up to $100. Again, if you have the money to do so, you can get your Zoom Zooms, your Wham Whams, your noodles, your chips, your whatever you want to order on commissary, your tunas, your summer sausages, your Jack Max. On Thursday, you have Hot Cart. Hot Cart was similar to Cold Cart that they brought through on a Tuesday. You come through with a cart, but you got your wings, you got your burgers. It's hot instead of cold. You got anything that's hot. Your Hot Pockets, your just anything that you can possibly imagine. Just imagine you sitting there and you don't have no money. That's why people come out of jail bitter. You don't have no money. Your people's not sending you anything. Or you don't have people that send you anything. And you got people that's ordering every single day of the week. At the time, Fridays, nothing went on. Saturdays, Sundays, nothing. You sitting there and you starving. It's 9 o'clock at night. You don't even eat until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And the breakfast is going to be garbage. You might get on a good day, a boiled egg. In the county jail, boiled eggs are hot commodities. You get those and you save them. Make it a boiled egg. I don't know, some grits, which are nasty as all outdoors. You might get a blueberry cake, like a small piece of blueberry cake. You might. Then again, it might just be a piece of cornbread. Some milk. This is what they feed you in the county jail. And it probably sounds way better than what it really is. What the dudes with bread, they don't eat that. They got their own stuff that they hook up or whatever. Then the ironic thing about this, in Lexington Fayette County Detention Center, they say you all of these things, but you have no microwave, no hot pots. So when you buy noodles, guess what you have to rely on? Hot water from the shower. And that gets only so hot. Anything that requires heat on your food, you have to make it do what it do. Once again, they know that the inmates are going to buy, because the food that they serve you is so garbage. And it's just awful. They know that you're going to buy these things and make something happen. When I reflect back sometimes, it's like, why would anybody remotely put themselves in a position to go to jail? The way that they do people, why would you put yourself, why would we put ourselves in position to even go there? Whatever the case may be, we do so. Now, the reason for me explaining all of these different days that they have that are supposed to be privileges, which they're not. If you tray stacker, if you the Podfather, that's what they call the Podfather, you get benefits on cold cart and hot cart days. They need people to help carry the inmates' items back up to the cell. Well, automatically, being that you tray stacker, you go down, because there's 4 units upstairs, 4 units downstairs, 10 to 12 people in each unit, or each pod, however you want to put it. So that's what, 40 to 50 people, or 48 people upstairs, and 40 to 48 people downstairs. So they'll crack the door open, for instance. Pod A. And whoever ordered, they would call your name and you come out with your ID and get your items. Once they were done, Pod B. Well, you have 2 inmates that come along with the staff that are pushing the cart. Well, they have to get the food and things ready. Some people order so much food, so you have to have inmates that are going to assist the people in taking their orders back to their cell. Well, OG Bobby Jimmy was getting all of the benefits. Just imagine, he controlled the remote control. It was tray stacker, where he got all the extra trays. Well, at bare minimum, 1 extra tray at bare minimum. All the extra juice. Oh, juice in jail's big. They got a cooler and you put your cup up to or you fill up water bottles. Hey, my dog, fill up my water bottle. You cool with him, you gonna fill it up. If you don't really know him, you gonna tax him. Where it goes in the county jail. But then on these particular days, hot cart and cold cart days, the same individual, and he's going down and he's helping people carry their items up to their cell. And at the end, once everything is complete and everybody's gotten their food, he's gonna get, I don't know, a couple burgers, slice of pizza, bag of chips, and a drink. Again, it may not sound like a lot to you all, but in jail it's a lot. And it's happened twice a week. So you got JT, the bigger figure. You know me, I'm just trying to get to the joint, man. I'm going to prison. I ain't really stressing it. I understand that it's some BS or whatever, but that's just the politics. That's just what it is. JT, the bigger figure, he not feeling that, man. Like, bro, won't you let somebody else get tray stacker sometimes? Won't you? OG ain't trying to hear that. OG Bobby Jimmy is not trying to hear that whatsoever. Man, I put my time in. I've been in here 1.5 years, youngster. Once you've been in here this long and you put in your work, then guess what? You can do this. But until then, this is what it's going to be. They would often not really argue too much because OG wasn't really doing too much arguing. I know I've told several stories about OG busting up the young dudes, but this wasn't one of those situations. This wasn't one of those scenarios. JT, the bigger figure, he had a whole lot of aggression. He had a whole lot of, he's fighting a case. He don't know what's going to happen. It was a shooting case. Baby's mama ain't answering the phone no more, or she's not answering as frequent. She's not coming to bring the kids down there to see him. He's starting to really, really understand the reality of incarceration, the reality of doing a long stretch in prison. See, he was facing like a lot of time. Now, physically, which doesn't always mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't mean anything, but it doesn't always mean everything. Couldn't hold a candle physically. Much smaller than OG Bobby Jimmy. But he was frustrated. He wasn't trying to hear nothing. One morning he jumps up. He's up before OG Bobby Jimmy. Forget this, I got tray stacker. I'm about to get to reap the benefits of cleaning up the cell, whatever. And he jumps up. And there's a commotion right then and there. Because he begins to clean up OG Bobby Jimmy. He was in the bathroom because he would always get up, get his hygiene and stuff together, even though it was 4 o'clock in the morning. He comes out because basically what would happen is they would push the mop bucket inside. So once they pushed it inside or whatever, OG Bobby Jimmy would get to it. But once he came out of the bathroom, he seen youngster, cleaning and spraying down the tables and the walls and, oh, bro, what you doing? What you mean, what I'm doing, man? I'm cleaning up the cell, man, getting it together, man. Nah, bro, you know this is me. This is OG Bobby. You know this is me, bro. You don't own this cell, man. I've been in here for a whole month, and I ain't seen nobody else get tray stacker. I ain't seen nobody else be a trustee for hot cart and cold cart. Sometimes middle of the week, commissary, you getting all these, and you're getting all of the benefits. Now, this is not exactly how he was saying it, but I'm paraphrasing. You getting all the motherfucking benefits and shit, nickel. That's what we won't eat too. That didn't bode over too well. OG wasn't really a loud type individual. I want to watch wrestling sometimes, man. I want to watch my shows. We always got watches. What you want to watch sports all the time. I want to watch Telemundo. Youngster. They love to watch Telemundo because the women be on there. Telemundo! I hate Telemundo. No disrespect to anybody, but I couldn't stand that. Sabiariante! Sabiariante! I used to be like, man, if y'all cut this bullshit off, man, cut the motherfucking game on. Nigga. OG, he was not feeling that whatsoever. So now you got youngster, he got the remote control. Because like once your cell is situated or whatever, like the CO, they know who the tray stacker is. So they're going to give that person a remote control. You don't keep the remote all night. You have to return the remote control once the TVs go off at about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. If you got a cool CO, if you got a jerk, TV's going off at 11 o'clock. Can't even watch the nightly news. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, it would be ESPN. Nevertheless, you all get the gist of what I'm saying, man. Y'all rock with me. Now you got the remote. Tray stacker, he gets the extra tray. Something good's on the tray. I think taco salad that day or tacos or whatever. And it's hot card night. OG is really, he's in his feelings, man. He's really like feeling some type of way about this. After all this time you've been having it, you feel some type of way about this. I gotta get youngster out of here. He's a problem. Now he's not saying these things out loud, but I already know. Man. I done been there, done that. I gotta get youngster out of here, man. Youngster, he gives no fucks. It is what it is. They trying to give me a life sentence. I don't care. The two of them would go back and forth over this tray stacker thing every day. Instead of them trying to work out something or it was a problem. And I got to put this, a lot of times I talk about the YNs, the young dudes. The young N-words, that's what YNs mean. So if you all that are not hip and you don't know, when you hear YNs, the young N-words. The youngster was trying to work something out. OG just wanted everything to himself. People like myself, I'm just trying to get to the joint, man. I ain't got time to be getting caught up going to the hole and all of this stuff, man. Y'all can have at it. I had my own money. I was buying my own stuff. I was cool. Plus, I ain't trying to clean no cell and all that. I clean up behind myself, and I believe in cleanliness, but I ain't really trying to do the most and do all that old, yes, sir, boss, I scrubs the windows, sir. Nah, I ain't doing it. Just can't do it. Got to the point to where OG was just so overbearing. OG Bobby Jimmy was so overbearing about the situation, and he was much bigger than dude, and dude just feel like, okay, I'm about to take it to the next level. And that he did. One night, OG Bobby Jimmy was playing chess. He loved to play chess. I played chess too. Played poker in the cell, chess, Monopoly. We wreck. We have fun, man. Considering you in jail, you're gonna make the best of your situation. He's playing chess. And JT, the bigger figure, he takes the dominoes. Real dominoes. He puts them in a sock. Sick of this old nigga. I think he got some bad news from court that day. They weren't trying to offer him the plea, or he was trying to have his case dismissed, and he lost the evidentiary hearing, suppression hearing. That's what they call it, suppression hearing. where they try to suppress the evidence. And he was at his wit's end, man. Like I said, he took him dominoes, he put him in a sock. OG never even seen it coming, man. Typically, the roles are reversed. But the YN knew that he couldn't whoop the OG. Comes up from behind while OG's sitting there. Splits him, man, in the back of the head with these dominoes. Hits him 3, 4, 5 times. He's punishing him. Talking crazy to him. Old ass nigga, you think it's a game? You think it's a game, bitch ass nigga? Bam, bam. He's talking to him like bitch ass mother. He's splitting him. OG's all the way like just messed around, man. No matter how tough you are, somebody comes from behind and splits you with dominoes and a sock. That's your body, man. In the county jails in Fayette County, Lexington, Fayette County, everything is glass and see-through. So eventually the CO sees what's going on. Everything is glass. Remember, you got 4 units upstairs, 4 pods upstairs, A, B, C, D. And then you have 4 units downstairs, E, F, G, H. Everything is glass. The CO, there's a CO in the cell 24 hours a day, sometimes 2. And they're in the middle of the cell. It's like a little tower a mini tower that they have. Got the computer, and so they can see everything. And then one stays in the tower and another one to do their walkthrough, so they can see what's going on. And when one of the COs notices that the OG was getting the brakes beat off of him, they called the infamous Signal 7. I don't remember what unit we were in. Let's just say we were in HH. Probably HH. Actually, it was II. Now that I really think about it, we were in II. Like the alphabet. The letter II. Signal 7 in Unit II. Signal 7 in Unit II. Called a Signal 7, Unit I. I mean, stop what you're doing. Because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I guess. So you got to stop what you're doing. That means get here. Not now, but right now. Because of immediate violence going on. Like when Dante from the Dante Show Network split dude in the back of the head with that dinner tray. And try never will forget that type of violence. Shout out to Dante Show Network. Signal 7 Unit I. It's always a frantic voice. It's not just Signal 7 Unit I, Signal 7. No, it's just frantic. Like, get Signal 7 Unit I. Signal 7 Unit I. They get there. Youngster won't stop. He's just beating him. They end up spraying him with this bird spray that they carry around on their hips. Now everybody's coughing. We covered our faces up or whatever. They bringing us out of the cell or escorting us out of the cell like we coming out of a burning building or something. Coughing, tears coming down our eyes and whatnot because they done sprayed this bird spray in this little bitty circumference, this little bitty area or whatever. Little youngin on this case, I think he ended up getting like 22 years. Then he ended up getting another 5 years for splitting dude, OG. So I think his total sentence was like 27 years. He split the OG with them dominoes. And as a result, they took the dominoes out of the detention center. So when people play dominoes, inmates always going to find a way. They'll take old flip-flops or something like that, and they'll draw on there and make dominoes. But the loud domino, because there was already so many complaints on the dominoes, and they got metal tables, or the steel tables or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? Every time you score, you can't play. You got some dominologists, man. They know exactly. I never really got into dominoes. I know how to play, but I'm more of a spades and poker dude. But dudes be so cold at dominoes, they know exactly what their partner got in their hand, which to a certain extent you're supposed to know. But then you know what they have just as well. They lock the board up, so it'll go around 2 or 3 times and nobody can play. They slamming the dominoes on the table, and it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Dudes are trying to sleep, and these are steel tables, and sometimes people would have a blanket on the table to cut down on the noise, but nobody wanted to use their personal blankets. And so when they came through and did a shakedown, and the extra blankets that we had to play dominoes and poker, they would take them. So sometimes it'd just be like, okay, you just playing on, it was what it was. If you don't like it, bind out. That's what they told people. I never said anything like that. I've always been a respectful type of individual. If you don't like the noise, bind out. You don't like it, nigga, do something. Where I'm from, if we don't like it, we do something. Slamming the bones every single time, man. Y'all been in jail, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Split dude, man. Took the dominoes. There was no more dominoes in the detention center. Again, I just wanted to bring you all a real prison story, a real jail story. Because like I said, I understand that this is a big subject matter, if you will, on the internet. Like a lot of people want to tune into the jail stories. And then you have people, again, that's never been to jail, but they're opportunists and they're business people. I'm not knocking nobody. Come on, kids, don't hate on them because your channel ain't doing what theirs is doing, man. I'm not hating on nobody, man. Get it how you get it. But they get people that have been in jail, and they tell these miraculous stories. Some are true, some are not. I guess at the end of the day, it don't really matter. It's all for entertainment. They get all the views. Meanwhile, real Kens gets left in the dust. But guess what? It don't matter, because I know my time's gonna come, and I appreciate the people that support me, and I appreciate every last one of you all that watch, that hit the like, that comment. I appreciate you all, man. Every last one of you all. And when my time comes, it's just gonna come. But just understand that I'm giving you all the real, not the real, but the real, as far as what happens. Penitentiary, and oftentimes in the county jail, is way more violent than the penitentiary, because you can't get out and maneuver and move around. So I've seen so much more violence in the county opposed to prison. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment, definitely share, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and be sure to hit that post notification, so anytime I bring you this real and this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Shout out to my dog James McIlvain, man. I see your text messages, bro. Been kind of moving around a lot the last few days, man. But I definitely see you, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to my dog Jason V. Shout out to the Bronx. Shout out to my dog Dreams. Shout out to Deborah and Chi-Town. Man, TB number 6. We all we got. Just shout out to everybody that rocks with Real Kens, man. And we gonna take this thing to new heights somehow, some way. We gonna make it up out this motherfucker one day. Rather we dribble out this motherfucker. Let me stop for a YouTube shadow ban. I'm already shadow banned. Real Kens TV.